there's something deep going on behind the surface. I wonder if it's a bit of a void space that you're in, like you're in between chapters, in between seasons, in between versions of yourself. I've never said that before, but hey, could be. You could have said adios to a previous version and the new one is still loading, but it's not there yet. Hello, welcome back to the monthly co-creation card reading. I swear I feel like I have not done this monthly reading in ages. It feels like years, but I actually just missed last month. I was really not feeling well. I really don't want to bring down the energy with the not so pleasant details, but it was a string of unusual illnesses that were like fusing into each other, and I wasn't getting a chance to recover, and it took so much from me. I was so drained that I could not do my monthly reading in the way that I usually do, which is like this full setup recording. And so what I did was I shared these like really short clips. I shared YouTube shorts of the reading, and I broke it up because I was hoping that I would get better like really quickly. So I broke up the reading into what do you need to know about the month that is ending, and then when I wasn't better then I had to do the YouTube short again, and I did another short reading on what you need to know about the month ahead. And then the same thing happened this month, where I was really hoping to be able to do this reading in the full setup, but I just wasn't feeling so great. So I did a post this time. I did a community post of what you need to know about the month that is ending, which is February 2026. But I'm feeling kind of okay. I got a new set of meds this morning, so I am feeling much more optimistic that I'll be able to get back to my routine and doing my readings the way that I really enjoy doing them. But what I thought I would do is just focus on the month ahead in these long form video readings. I kind of liked blending the month that was ending and the month that is to come, and I did that for a few months. But I just noticed that like these last few weeks, when I was breaking up the readings, and I was doing it just because I wasn't sure when I would be able to get back to doing this type of recording, I realized that I actually like keeping the months separate. So I think I'm going to do that going forward. We'll see. I might end up changing my mind, could go back to how I was doing it, blending the months, but I kind of just want to focus on the month ahead. Maybe it's like a collective thing. We just want to focus on what's ahead. And so I'll most likely be posting a little mini reading for the month that is ending going forward. So I did it as a community post this time around. I'll probably do the same next time, but we'll see. I am totally open to whatever inspiration finds its way to me, and however it wants to be delivered, it will find me. So let's keep ourselves open to the unknown, and we can apply that to life in general as well. Okay, I think we need to just take like a breather. I have had quite a busy day. I generally don't do these video recordings and readings on days when I go out, because I tend to preserve my energy just for the reading. But things were just unpredictable this week. I had an unexpected meeting that I needed to go out for, and I really needed more meds. And I thought, like, this is going to sound so bad. I thought that since I was going out today and like I needed to get dressed up and do my hair and do my eye makeup, and whoever does this for themselves, you will know the struggle. I thought, let's just do the recording today. I'm going to do my absolute best, and I trust that whatever is meant to come through will come through, and it will find whoever it is meant to find. So we're going to be doing our monthly card reading to receive divine guidance to co-create the life of our dreams and to live the life that our soul intended to. So just keep that in mind as we carry out this reading. Let's take just a moment to settle into the space. You can close your eyes if you want to, or just get still and lower your gaze. Please don't do this if you're driving or operating heavy machinery. I trust that you know when it is safe to do this. So let's just get quiet and still for a moment and tune into the pace of our breathing, what that feels like. And if you've got any thoughts crossing your mind, you can just gently greet them and come back to being present. And now tune into what it is that you wish to experience for yourself, what it is that will be truly fulfilling for you. And if you don't have an idea of what that looks like, tune into what true fulfillment feels like for you. And take a deep breath in and out. When you're ready, if you close your eyes, you can open them. Okay, let's get into our reading. So this is for the month of March 2026. But of course, I set the intention that whenever I do this reading, it is meant to serve you when you are receiving it. So although this is tuning into the energy of March 2026, if you happen to listen to this at a later time, trust that there is something in what will be shared that is meant for you. Perhaps the entire message you will resonate with, but there will at least be something here for you. Okay, so remember to hold your intention for what it is that you most wish to experience and what true fulfillment feels like for you. And we are going to pull our cards. What do we need to know about the month ahead? Shoo, that was quick. I've got 3 cards. Okay, boundaries, the past, and enchanted. Ooh, these cards are like so mystical. They're quite dark, and not all the cards in this deck are dark. So that is just so interesting. And it's not to say that like darkness is concerning. It's just giving me the feeling like there's something deep going on behind the surface. There's something transformational. I wonder if it's a bit of a void space that you're in, like you're in between chapters, in between seasons, in between versions of yourself. I've never said that before, but hey, could be. You could have said adios to a previous version and the new one is still loading, but it's not there yet. So what I'm getting from these cards is that this is definitely a time for you to be taking extra special care of yourself, especially when it comes to boundaries. And I see blue and green on this card for boundaries. And that is related to the throat chakra and the heart chakra. So when it comes to you expressing yourself, your speaking, your communication, wherever you may feel like you are suppressing yourself, there is a need to bring in a boundary that will be serving you, that will be empowering you. And this does appear to have an emotional relationship to yourself, like just the way that you feel. Whatever this experience with your communication is, whatever challenges you're having, it does have an emotional influence on you. Could be affecting your heart area, the heart chakra area, but definitely emotional. And the boundary needs to be put in place so that you don't have to betray yourself. Is that the right word? It sounds a bit harsh, but perhaps we need a bit of bluntness to wake up and start taking better care of ourselves. So it could be in so many different ways related to your communication. Maybe you're tolerating disrespect. The way that people speak to you is not on. It's not ethical. It's just not kind. And maybe you're tolerating communication that you absolutely know that you don't deserve, and it's just uncalled for. And so some boundaries are needed to let people know that this is what you will accept and this is what you won't accept. And if they're open to it, they can speak to you to work things out, to find a medium ground where the two of you can communicate and get through to each other. But the way that things are just cannot continue. It could also be you not fully expressing yourself. So maybe there is something that you need to speak about, you need to open up about, but you might be feeling like you just can't because you feel guilty, or you feel like nobody will understand you. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe it's like really deep, sensitive stuff that you just don't want people to know about. But if that is the case, holding back what is true for you could actually be causing more harm than good. I'll give you just a totally random example. Say you have friends that are contacting you quite frequently to go out, like, I don't know, go out socializing, whatever people do when they socialize. And you actually are not feeling so up to it. And it's not because you're avoiding people. You have been putting yourself out there and you do care about your friends. But like, sometimes it's too much. And sometimes it takes away more than it gives to you. So maybe you're not expressing, the frequency of us going out is really taking a toll on me. Or maybe the way in which we hang out, the places that we go to, the environment that we put ourselves in is really disruptive for me. Maybe that's the kind of things that you need to be communicating, being open and honest about the experience that you're having, and trusting that the other person, your friends, whoever you're speaking to, that they will be open to hearing you out, understanding where you're coming from. They don't have to relate to you, but they can at least understand that this is where you're at. And if they're willing, they can make a change, perhaps go out not as often, or maybe just be okay, understand that you won't accept every single invitation. Or maybe they may want to change the places that they go out to. Like, it could be anything. But you do need to set those boundaries when it comes to your communication. Being open, honest, and truthful about where you're at, being authentic, and also receiving the respect that you know that you deserve. So not settling and tolerating anything that is below what you know you deserve. That's where your boundaries need to come in. And so the card, the past, this is making me think that perhaps in the past you felt like you didn't really have maybe you didn't know what a boundary was, and you're learning about what that is and what that can look like right now. Maybe in the past, you really felt yourself being depleted by situations, by people, and you didn't know how to communicate what your needs were. You didn't know how to take the best care of yourself. And it can be triggering when things like this come up again. But this is an opportunity for you to not relive the past, but to learn from it. And we're actually in the middle of an eclipse season. So, of course, this is still relevant to whenever you're watching this, even if it's much later on. But we have a lunar eclipse coming up in the first week of March. And so there's going to be some wrapping up in soul lessons, in soul contracts, whatever it is that your soul intended to experience at this time. There's going to be some releasing and making amends with the past in some way. So don't be alarmed if you find that situations and patterns and experiences that you've experienced before are finding its way to you again, or it's maybe just the thoughts and the memories of it are resurfacing. This is absolutely the time for us to be doing this work, this reflective work. We're also in Mercury retrograde at the moment, so it's more of a reflective period rather than us going out and boldly confronting things and people. You can expect there to be delays in communication right now. You can expect to have maybe unclear communication, or maybe like conflicts in communication, not fully understanding each other, maybe not even understanding yourself, and that's totally fine. There's a lot happening right now. I feel like there's a lot happening all the time, but especially now. We just started a new year, okay? In numerology, it's a 1 year, so that's new beginnings, brand new starts, opportunities. In Chinese astrology, it's the year of the fire horse, okay? So that's more momentum to move forward and to take action even when you're not feeling so certain and so prepared. We're in the middle of eclipse season. So there's probably, I mentioned Mercury retrograde. There's a lot happening right now. So perhaps that explains all the black cards. Like, there's just so much happening right now. It's feeling like a lot. I wonder if you're feeling that. I've kind of been feeling it, but I've gotten so used to chaos that I'm just like, I just breeze through it now. Like, chaos can't bring me down anymore. Well, at least that's the intention that I set. So if things are feeling like a lot, just breathe. Take a moment, pause the video right now if you need to. Just breathe. We're moving through an intense period of closing out cycles and starting new ones. So go easy on yourself. Whatever this reading is relating to when it comes to setting boundaries for yourself and also repairing situations from the past, repairing your past behavior. Just be gentle on yourself. And this card, Enchanted, this is giving me the feeling that in you doing this work, in empowering yourself, setting boundaries, giving yourself the respect that you deserve, being your true, authentic self, there's going to be mystical experiences. Like, it might feel like there are certain days or certain moments when it feels like magic, or life is feeling like a movie. Like, I don't want to say too good to be true, because when the good things happen, they are true. And when those moments happen, claim it. When you have your enchanting, mystical moments, claim it. It's yours. You're doing the work. You're breaking cycles. You're setting boundaries. And that work is intense work. I swear it is more difficult than going to school for so many years and going to conventional workplaces, working full-time jobs. The inner work, the shadow work, the personal transformation, far more difficult than the conventional work that we do in our regular day-to-day lives. So we deserve the magic, we deserve the enchantment. Expect something mystical to find you. I can't say what it is because the things that surprise you are meant to be a surprise. But what I do see on this card is a full moon. This is what's sticking out to me. There are also crescent moons as well, but the full moon in particular is standing out for me. So I wonder if it's around the time of the full moon. When is the next full moon? Let me have a look. The full moon is on the 3rd of March. And I'm pretty sure that's the same day as the lunar eclipse. I'm also going to have a look at that. Yep, the lunar eclipse is taking place on the 3rd of March. So, hey, I don't make this up. I can't make this up. Super magical time ahead. Expect something mystical to happen and be open to absolutely anything. Say to the universe, surprise me. And, I would love to know what it is. So if something does happen, and it will, when something happens, let me know. You can drop a comment on this video, or you can, I'm not really on any other social platform at the moment. It's just part of my mental health care at the moment. But you can always email me. If you go to my website, the link is in the description. You'll be able to find my email address at the very bottom of my website. So yeah, I'd love to hear what's been going on, what mystical things are finding their way to you. Okay, so we looked at what's the energy for March. What action are we being guided to take? So yeah, we did get the guidance that we need to set better boundaries, or maybe we just need to set boundaries. Maybe we never had them before. But what other action are we being divinely guided to take? Gosh, these cards are coming out quickly. And we've got such bright cards this time around. So I'm seeing orange, I'm seeing blue. The cards say the law of attraction and embrace uncertainty. So much excitement. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is, in doing this work, taking better care of yourself, devoting yourself to your self-care and your self-empowerment and your personal transformation, and whether you're conscious of it or not, you are absolutely doing the work of what your soul intended to do, fulfilling your soul's mission on this earth. We are meant to take the best care of ourselves. It is absolutely spiritual to do this work. You are attracting something, okay? But I, again, cannot say what that is because the next card is embrace uncertainty. So if things shift, if you either draw things towards you or you find that you are like propelled into a completely different space, different environment, just trust that all of this work that you're doing and the way in which life is changing right now, the energy of being new beginnings and forward movement, you're being aligned with the path that is best for you. You're being aligned with what is a match for your energy at this time. So that is the law of attraction. What you are is what you attract. It's a period of manifestation. I wonder if this has something to do with your social life, because I see that there's this group of girls hanging out and they look happy. That's a nice social circle to be in. I wonder if it has something to do with your social life. It absolutely could. Doesn't have to, but I guess if you've been wanting positive change in your social life, maybe you don't have one, and that's cool. Like, we don't always have to have a social life, but if you've been wanting one, it feels like the energy is good for not just bringing better opportunities to socialize in your life, but also aligning you with people where you feel comfortable, where you feel like you can be at home. That's the best feeling in the world. When you can feel so at home and know that you don't have to like put on a performance, you don't have to change the way that you speak, you don't have to uphold a completely different like accent. You can be yourself and people will love you for it. That to me is one of the greatest riches in the world. And so perhaps this is what we're calling in. I will claim that. You can claim that too. But just know that it's not necessarily going to be that clear. Like maybe whatever is coming doesn't align perfectly with what you were looking for or what you were intending to create for yourself. So the guidance here in terms of action, just keep moving forward. Keep checking in with yourself. Does this feel good for me? Forget about what the external material world is looking like. Forget about what it physically looks like. When you just get still for a moment and you check in with yourself, does this feel good for me? Does this interaction make me feel valued, make me feel safe and supported? And if your answer is yes, not that I'm telling you what to do, but generally, when that answer is yes, it is a very good indication to keep going forward. So put yourself out there where you can to be in contact with more people. If you don't have like super close friends to connect with, maybe look up in your contacts list of people that you did have good relationships with in the past, and just because of life changes and life circumstances, there was distance created between you guys. But just go through your contact list, maybe scroll through your chats, whatever chat app you use, scroll to like the very bottom and see who are you talking to. Who did you used to speak to, like in the last 6 months, in the last year, maybe 2 years ago, if you want to go that far back. But perhaps there's someone there that you can reconnect with. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. Like you can just send a message, or you can have a voice call. If you want to be bold, like this card indicates, you can even ask to meet them in person if that's possible. That's actually something that I've been doing recently, connecting with people from like three plus years ago. And it has been so great. Like, it's so weird how, of course, I liked them in the past. Like, that's why I still kept their contact details and stuff. But the way that I relate to them now is so different, and it's so much deeper, and it just feels like we were meant to be in each other's lives. We were meant to support each other as we move forward in our journey, even though our like normal day-to-day lives went in completely different directions. The fact that we choose to stay in connection, that's how we know that we were meant to be in each other's lives. And it's just such a beautiful way of being able to connect with people. You don't always have to connect deeply with the people that you have in your life right now. You don't have to force connection. You don't have to feel pressure to make brand new friends. If it's just not the right time for that sort of thing, just know that the people that you have met, that you have crossed paths with, it's not always like it was just a coincidence. Some of those people are part of your soul family, and you're still connected, whether you see each other or not, whether you speak to each other often or not. The people that you spent a significant time with, it could just be a moment in your life in the past, or it could be like a long time. Those people were probably there for a reason. They were meant to be with you. They were meant to support you on your journey of growth and experience the things that you experienced, and vice versa, of course. So don't discount the people that you already know. Okay, that's just a nice tip, a little bit of advice for you there. Okay, I think we can pull an affirmation card for March. I just need to take a sip of water. Been a lot of talking today. Okay, let us get our affirmation for March. Not so quick this time. The oracle cards were like, phew, within 1 second. There we go, we've got one. Okay, no feeling is forever. Allow your emotions to float through you. No feeling is forever. Allow your emotions to float through you. This is nice. It helps to remember that nothing is permanent. And you know, I have such a difficult relationship with impermanence, because there are some things that I don't want to end. I'm sure I'm not alone in that feeling, but it definitely makes the difficult experiences in life and the unpleasant experiences so much more bearable when you know that it's not permanent. So if this is a heavy time, I did mention there's a lot going up out in space right now, and that energy is influencing us because we are everything. We are connected to all that is. So if it's bringing up a lot of emotions for you, and emotions can look like so many different things, like it doesn't always have to be like dread and grief. It can also be like indifference, like I don't know why, I don't care. I just don't care about anything. That's a feeling. That's an emotion. Yeah, there's such a vast amount of emotions out there that I don't even think that we've been able to identify all of them. So if there's anything that's particularly overwhelming at the moment, breathe into it. Something that I do that brings me relief is I have a conversation with it. I just close my eyes. I imagine that I am meeting them, the emotion. I let the emotion have its own physical appearance. And I'm not going to tell you what that looks like, because I want you, if you decide to do this, to come up with an appearance that is completely unique to you. And I go and sit down next to them, and I hear what they have to say, and I let them know what I'm thinking. And I will spend probably like 15 to 20 minutes doing that. And at the end of that meditation, perhaps you can call it that, I feel so much at peace. And it's not to say that the emotion just evaporates, doesn't. But I feel so much more comfortable holding space for that emotion. It almost feels like I create more room in myself energetically to safely hold that emotion, so that it doesn't feel like a threat to me. I'm not breaking down because I'm constricted. I have expanded in doing this practice to be more present with what I'm feeling and actually like having a relationship with it. It's okay if it sounds crazy, but it works. It does so much good. And so maybe you might find this helpful for you. Okay, so that's our reading for the month. I wonder if we should do some reflection. Yes, we must. I've always made this part of the monthly reading, but perhaps we don't need a lot of time. I am trying to change things up. I'm really feeling the year of the fire horse, like just do things differently, do new things. So let's take 6 minutes to just make a note of whatever comes up, anything that you perhaps thought about during this reading, anything that may be coming up for you right now. Let's just take a few minutes to make some notes on it. You can pull out a journal if that's what you use, or you can pull out your phone and make some notes, send a message to yourself. I do that sometimes. And I'll see you in 6 minutes. Okay, we are done with our reflection time, so you can just take the next few seconds to finish up what you were writing or thinking about. And if you would like to share what came up for you in your reflection, I would love to hear from you. So you can drop a comment and I will share what came up for me. It actually wasn't a lot, so I think I'm going to get through my sharing quite quickly. But even though it's not a lot, it's profound. And I love it when, like, it doesn't take much for something really significant to land. So, earlier I spoke about the need to set boundaries, and it felt like it had something to do with communication. Something that I wish to set for myself going forward is guilt-free time away from my phone. And this, I believe, goes back to my past, where I was in a job that required me to be available after hours. And sometimes things would go wrong and I would have to be the one to communicate with the stakeholders, with the clients, with the teams involved, with management. And that job, although I'm so grateful for that experience because it's where I actually experienced rapid growth in just every ability that I have, what the job required from me was not really aligned with what is soothing for me, where I am naturally able to thrive. That job did not align with what allows me to naturally thrive. And so having to be on my phone after hours and like not knowing if I'm going to get a message, if I'm going to get a phone call, that was like quite destabilizing for me. And it lasted for like over a year. So that became like my conditioning, that I developed this really high, intense anxiety relationship with my phone. And it's one of the reasons why I'm not that active on social media right now, because I don't know if it's seasonal, like if I'll get over this, or maybe this is just who I naturally am, but being highly in touch and up to date with absolutely everyone and everything causes me more harm than good. And I'm just making peace with that fact that I don't enjoy being on social media. And I've chosen to be on YouTube because it's where I can create meaning and depth, the kind of depth that I want for myself. This is the platform where I get to share that. I can't really do that on platforms where people are mostly looking for pictures and like super short videos, and people's attention spans are not that great on those platforms. That is how it's designed anyway. So I've just tapped out of that way of living where we're just hooked onto these social media apps and any app for communication. But I did mention I've been reaching out to people. I have also been reaching out to new people in this, it's a new community that I've joined, a spiritual community. And there has been a bit of pressure because there's been more messages coming through. It's been making me feel like it triggers that part of me from the past where I feel like I have to look at my phone right now. I have to respond immediately. Like everything is urgent. And I don't want to live that way anymore because it's not urgent. like the truth is it's not urgent, and it's not taking away the importance of these people. It's not saying that I don't value them, but I need to value my own well-being above everything else, because if I don't do that, then there's no Yas. There's no one to have a friendship with, because I won't exist if I don't take care of myself. So that's my boundary that I'm going to set. I'm going to do my best. This has been a challenge for me. My phone and we've had a complicated relationship for years. And so I want to be intentional with how I use my phone going forward. I'm actually considering changing the color. I think it's called grayscale, where things are like black and white and different shades of gray, just so that you're not highly stimulated by the different colors that you see. And I've already switched off all of the notifications on my phone, but I'm just looking for more ways to like detach from that addictive behavior that tends to come up whenever I use my phone. So we'll see how that goes. And tiny things that came up with the other cards is to continue to reach out to people that make me feel at home. And that is rare, I have to say. And I've been so blessed to have come across people that just make me feel like, oh, this whole human experience is so worth it, because I get to share it with them. So definitely I'm going to be making more plans to see or to speak with them over the phone. And I also want to make a trip to the beach. I've been wanting to do this for months, and to get me out of my home is quite a mission. I'm an introvert, and yeah, I just don't go out. But it's been on my mind for a long time, and two of the cards have like the beach and the ocean in them. And so I'm thinking, it's actually a nice time to go to the beach, because we are entering autumn. Yeah, March will be autumn for my side of the world, and the weather will be much cooler to go to the beach. I tend to avoid going during summer, like that's when most people will go. But where I live in Cape Town, the sun is so strong. It is so intense. It causes damage. Like, you don't want to know the kind of damage that it causes. So I'm thinking autumn is actually a wonderful time to make that trip. So maybe you need to make a trip to the beach as well, if there is one close to you. And if not, I'm sorry. Maybe you can watch a video of a beach. Okay, so that is our reading for the month of March. Thanks so much for joining. I hope that you have a beautiful month ahead. I hope that all of the energies that are rising up and being infused into your cells as you move forward is healing and gives you the strength that you need to do all that you came here to do. Whether it's the conventional day job or the work of your soul, I hope that you receive everything that you need. And if you would like more personal guidance, do have a look at my website. All the links are in the description. I actually recently launched a free collective reading offering. And this is something that is so close to my heart. I did write about it on my website, so you can read the full story there. But it's something that I'd been wanting to do ever since I launched my business. But I needed to make sure that I was in the right space, like health-wise, energy-wise. And so I finally launched it this month in Feb. So this is something that you can request for if receiving a reading is not something that you can invest in right now, but you really do need the guidance. That is where this free collective reading comes in. So head on to my website to read more about that if that calls to you. And if you would like to have a personal one-on-one reading, you can have a look at what I am offering as well. It's all on my website. So thanks again for joining. I will see you soon in my book club. Yeah, we're almost wrapping up the first reading season, and we'll be starting our next season in April. So if you are part of the book club or you want to be part of the book club, I will see you there very soon. The link for the book club, you can find that in the video description as well. So sending you lots of love and lots of healing energy and big hugs. Have an amazing month ahead. We'll see you soon. Bye.